Chill. But this is such a bad landing. Like, we're just like stalling out. All right, you know what? Fine. We're just gonna. Perfect. Perfect. 10 out of 10. What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic with another really cool build. And going along with sort of the Spud engine and the 4-cylinder Spud engine, I decided I should really try and see if I can make a Spud plane fly. But before I did that, I wanted to actually build like a test plane frame with the controls that I like. I really think the wing mod is awesome. Allows us to make planes that, you know, only have these two forward thrusters and yet can still move. But I wanted to make my own sort of plane frame so I could test different, you know, potato cannon devices for propulsion. I wanted to show you guys this plane, which I will upload to the workshop. I'll upload that one as well, but I wanted to show you this one just because I really like how simple these controls are, and I like how easy it is to fly and easy it is to take off. So the one key really simply just turns on and off the thrusters, and they're just on a constant power. That's it. 2, yaws the... okay, you know what? We got stuck on the runway there. I downloaded this airport terrain tile. I don't know who it's by, but I'll include a link to it in the description below. I don't remember. I did this a while ago just to have a sort of map with a runway we can test wings on, because, you know, you actually need to get your plane up to speed. But anyways, 1 activates the thrusters, pretty simple stuff. 2 yaws the back to the left there, and 3 yaws to the right. Now, it is a very extreme angle, but when you're flying, you don't really ever use it. You mostly use it when you're on the ground. To just sort of, you know, see here, we can steer a little bit. Then the only other control is 4, which activates those 2 little flaps there in behind the plane. So the controls are really simple. A and D are your roll controls. They just control those sort of ailerons on the end of the wing. It's the whole wingtip that rotates, so it's not really an aileron, but it works really well. So A and D are your roll controls really nicely. And then W and S are your pitch controls. And you can see on the back tailpiece there, we've actually got 2 pipes and a piston to connect the 2 pieces of tail together. And that way we can have them on a single electric motor. And I really like the electric motor setup. 1, W and S feels really natural when you're using it as pitch controls, really easy to fly. And you can see there we've got those little pipe pieces that stop the tail from going too far in either of the 2 directions, but it's really natural to fly. And the other thing about having it on an electric motor is you can put it into a position and it'll kind of hold itself there. So when you're taking off, for example, you can just set it to sort of an incline like that, and when you're landing, you can bring it down, as well as when you're flying. If you want to, you know, slowly rise up, you can just pull it slightly, and you don't have to worry about holding it or tapping the control. And I really like that. On a real plane, there are flaps in behind the wing close to the body, like I have them here, but they sort of extend the wing. They make the wing bigger, and that means it goes slower because it's got a little bit more surface area. It's more drag. It's slowing the plane down, but it gives it a lot more lift at a lot lower speed. So when they're taking off and when they're landing, planes will adjust the flaps. This allows them to go slower when they come in for a landing and take off with a little bit less speed. It's really cool stuff, and there's a lot of, you know, math and science that goes behind it. This isn't really a flap. A real flap just extends the surface of the wing down. It kind of pushes back. This just tilts up, but it sort of gives us the same effect. It gives us a little bit of lift at slower speeds, and so it gives us just enough lift to lift like the whole front end up when we're taking off on the runway. You really only need it for takeoff and landing, and it's just got 1 setting. You just hit it and it's either on or off. But for takeoff and landing, it's fantastic. So we're gonna go for a little bit of flight here now that I've been droning on about this plane. But anyways, I am gonna upload it to the workshop. I love it. So here we go. We're gonna set the flaps, and then we're gonna press S just a little bit, give us a little bit of lift. And once we get up to speed, oh, okay, or we bounce. You know what? That's, oh, I just, that was good. I hit the wrong button. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. We're gonna, you know, we're just gonna go a little bit on the pitch, not too much, and we're gonna turn it on, and then we're gonna hit the flaps here. There we go, and it should lift off if it doesn't get the weird terrain bounce. Oh, or it just gets the weird terrain bounce up. Then we can put those flaps down, and then perfect, we're flying. And it's just a really smooth flight. So you can see we can just very slightly adjust the pitch and the roll, and we can just, you know, very easily just pitch and let it just pull. And, you know, you don't have to hold S or W or anything. That's the nice thing about having this electric motor setup. And then that beam connecting the 2 pieces makes sure that if you had just 2 bearings with like 1 electric motor connected to the 2, it's possible that the 2 wings would, you know, fall out of sync and not be perfectly lined up all the time. But putting that little beam piece across it, plus putting the hard stops, you know, if we go to the hard stop, for example, we can't tip it any further than that. So we'll just sit here doing loops now for a bit, stalling out the plane. but even if we hold S more, it's not going to tip it. In the same sense, if we try and pitch down, it'll be the same thing. But it's just a really, really great flying experience. I really love planes in this game. I love the wing mod, and I think, you know, I want to build maybe some sort of a bigger plane. I'm not sure. Here was my thoughts, right? There's two possible things that could happen. I have a lot of planes that I've built like before, like big cargo planes and stuff that have just a ton of thrusters in them to fly. And I'm wondering, should we try and take one of those planes, make a copy of it, and convert it to fly with the wing mod and see if that's even possible, if we can make like a big wooden plane fly with the wing mod and just have a ton of wings inside of it. Or the second option is, do I want to build a completely new plane from scratch? So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know, of course, in the comments down below which one you think would be better to rebuild old planes, or maybe do some new ones and some old ones. You know, these are nice little small sort of gliders and small little planes, single person planes, but I really do want to have like a big passenger plane or a big cargo plane or something that can actually fly with the wing mod, and a cargo plane that can actually lift up a vehicle while flying with the wing mod would be amazing. I don't know how possible that is, but I definitely want to try, you know, flying a plane that that definitely has some very sensitive controls. I mean, with this, obviously, you know, we can do stuff like this really easily, do loops, no problem. Very, very easy to fly though, like WASD controlled. It's just, I haven't even used the yaw once yet. Just holding that one key and, oh, there we go, perfect. Just nice, quick turn. It's just so easy, so easy. I really do encourage you, if you are curious, check this out on the workshop. Oh boy, that was an operator error. It was a good landing spot. Of course, you all clicked on this video to see this plane. So this is the Spud plane 1, I think I called it. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but anyways, basic same idea as this plane, except we've got 6 Spud minigun turrets on the back. Now they do rotate, they only shoot 1 cannon each at a time, and that's of course to give it more of a constant thrust rather than if it was, you know, all the Spud cannons firing at once. It is a little bit wider of a wingspan, so it helps give it a little bit more lift. And then you can see here as well, the flap has been extended a lot. So the flap helps give it initial lift when you're trying to get it off the ground, which you need with all the extra weight from these Spud cannons. But then also the flap, when it's flat, gives you a lot of ability to, you know, help lift up the whole vehicle. Now, it pretty much flies the exact same way as the other one. All the controls are the same. WASD, again, 1 turns on the thrust. Just the thrust has been replaced with a whole line of Spud cannons. We're just going to pitch up a little bit here, very, very slightly. We're going to hit 1. Let me see if we get some speed up here. All right, and then we'll press 4. And there we go. The flap's up. Look at that. You just, as soon as it's up in the air, you just hit 4 again and bring that flap flat. And you're good to go. And you can see there, this thing flies relatively. Oh boy, let's get some altitude. We're playing with fire here. It's a little bit more, dare I say, slidey. When you try and steer, it sort of drifts corners a little bit more than the other plane. The other plane flies a lot straighter and a lot more accurate. I mean, this one's also constantly shaking a little bit. You can see flies super stable, super smooth. Again, this is why I wanted to have a good test frame, because then when I was making the Spud plane version, I just had to, you know, do a little bit of modification and play around with some wing shapes, flap sizes, etc., stuff like that. But it really, you know, not too bad. But I am going to upload, of course, this one to the workshop as well. I'll upload them both as, you know, 2 separate planes. The other one's definitely a lot smoother to fly. This one's just ridiculous. And of course, you know, if anyone's behind you, they're just screwed. But I mean, it's pretty good. It can go straight up, I think. I'm not really sure. I think can it go straight up? I mean, kind of. No, I think we're stalling out a little bit. Yeah, we're definitely stalling out. It's okay. But I mean, you can see it's definitely pretty stable. Sometimes it screws up. Okay, okay, oh boy, let's go this way. But just a really phenomenal mod. I love these new scripted mods. It's really changed the scrap mechanic game. And like I said before, you know, the aesthetic blocks and stuff, I'm not really too concerned about that, but the ability to change some of the game mechanics has really just opened up the possibilities. And I really hope the devs look at some of these mods that people are coming up with and, you know, implement some of them into the game. And, you know, give the appropriate credit, of course. There's some really cool mods. The electromagnetic mod, of course, one of my favorites. The wing mod, definitely one of the favorites as well. You know, just really, really crazy stuff that you can do with these mods. We've always had the ability to build flyers with thrusters, but it's never really flight because, you know, you can't do stuff like the barrel roll effectively. When you do, the thrust starts, you know, throwing you down. You can't do stuff like this, right, where we just barrel roll the plane and, you know, control the flaps and control the surfaces. You know, it's really cool to actually build a plane where you have the proper control surfaces for the most part. So we're going to try and land the Spud plane here. And I don't know how well it's going to go. We've, like, completely destroyed everybody now. If there's, oh my god, look at all those Spuds. All right, I don't know. We need to loop around here to the right and line up. Is it clearer on that? I think it's clearer on that side. Let's loop around. Let's go straight. This thing is so much harder to fly than the thruster plane. Of course, we don't have variable thrust. That would be the other thing, I think, is to make a big plane. If it's a really, really big plane, like, you know, like one of the big cargo planes or something, I think we'd have room to put a ton of engines and have like a variable thrust setting. You know, so you can actually throttle the plane to different throttle speeds. With this, of course, we could turn on and off different Spud engines, but really, other than that, it would be very, very difficult to get a variable throttle on this thing. Oh, we're coming in too hot. We're coming in too shallow. Okay, okay. Line up. Just chill. Chill. This is such a bad landing. Like, we're just like stalling out. All right, you know what? Fine. We're just perfect. Perfect. 10 out of 10. But anyways, let me know, of course, what you think of this plane and of these mods in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm really excited. There's so many things I just want to keep building in Scrap Mechanic. I can't even tell you. Like, I've really, ever since these new scripted mods, I've just had so many new cool ideas. Just the possibilities are just so awesome. And you guys have had awesome ideas too. I love reading through the comments and just seeing all the great ideas people have come up with and kind of just, you know, manipulating them slightly, but I still really love all the ideas you guys have come up with. So make sure you guys keep them coming. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. You know, this flies surprisingly well.